I gotta tell you, we have so many good stories in today's show, including this. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel has announced that she's filing charges against fake electors, as is relevant to the state of Michigan. And so you might remember we've talked a lot about this, but one of the attempts by Trump and his orbit to overturn the 2020 election, because Trump couldn't accept that he lost like countless other presidential candidates have done in the past, and tried to, in every way he could concoct, in every way that advisors to him could concoct, try to prevent Biden from becoming president as he was supposed to do, and did end up, of course, becoming, and instead keep Trump unlawfully, unconstitutionally in the White House. And one of those attempts was this fake elector scheme, as it's called. And the idea was, okay, in the swing states we lost, we're going to get individuals to pretend they're the electors. They're not the actual electors that the state's sending to say, our state, the popular vote, voted for Biden. And so us as electors are going to cast our votes in the Electoral College for Biden, and then that would be certified and Biden would become president. And instead, we can get Mike Pence to receive these fake ones. We'll just make up these forms and say, we're the actual electors. Yeah. And then Mike Pence will go, okay, these are the real electors, and the real count makes Trump win. It would have been completely disastrous, but that was the idea. And now the Attorney General of Michigan is going to prosecute the electors that attempted to do this coming out of the state of Michigan. Take a look at this from NBC News. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel announced Tuesday that she's filed charges against 16 people who signed paperwork falsely claiming that President Donald Trump had won the 2020 election as part of a scheme to overturn the results. Presidents are technically voted in by slates of electors from each state who cast their votes for the candidates selected by their state's popular votes. In December 2020, as Trump tried to overturn the results of the election, his allies readied alternative slates of electors in several states. They appear to be the first charge filed against fake electors. And of course, in the federal investigation, Trump has just been notified that he is a target, but this is a completely separate one. I don't even think I have ever discussed, or really even had on my mind, that there was this investigation going on where charges could be potentially brought out of the Michigan AG's office in regard to these fake electors. So this is really huge and good news. Democracy is being defended here. Take a look at Dana Nessel announcing this.
As part of the orchestrated plan, we allege that 16 Michigan residents met covertly in the basement of Michigan GOP headquarters and knowingly and of their own volition signed their names to multiple certificates stating that they were the duly elected and qualified electors for President and Vice President of the United States of America for the state of Michigan. That was a lie. They weren't the duly elected and qualified electors, and each of the defendants knew it. They carried out these actions with the hope and belief that the electoral votes of Michigan's 2020 election would be awarded to the candidate of their choosing instead of the candidate that Michigan voters actually chose.
Stunning that that's what we witnessed in this country. An actual attempt to overthrow the democratic process and say, no, we know better than the people's vote on this, and based on our wild conspiracy theories that we don't have evidence for, as to support this belief that the election was stolen, we are going to attempt to actually steal the election. In claiming the election was stolen, we're going to take that and use it to justify us stealing an election. And now they may see accountability, and that is just fantastic. We'll continue to follow that process now that charges have been filed. But while we're kind of on the subject of fake electors and the Democratic election overthrowing attempt, we also are keeping up with what's going on in Arizona. This is from Arizona Central. Arizona's fake electors in the Arizona Senate's hand recount of 2.1 million Maricopa County ballots are under investigation by the Arizona Attorney General's office. Investigators are looking at a range of Republican-led efforts to overturn results of the 2020 election, including the so-called audit, which was the only privately run recount of ballots in America the Arizona Republic has learned. And so a lot of things are being investigated. We don't yet have specific news on this investigation from the Arizona AG's office. But the attempt there, including their fake electors, is also being investigated. Plus, this bizarre, wacky right-wing group getting access to the ballots to do their own recount, the cyber ninjas they were called. And the most hilarious part of this, we'll see what's uncovered in the investigation as to why that was such a strange moment. But even though they were a far-right group trying to bolster Trump's narrative, they came in and their report found that Biden had won by 99 additional votes in Arizona, and Trump had won by 200 or lost by 261 more votes. So he lost votes after their own count that was supposed to help uncover the evidence of these conspiracy theories on the part of Trump. Now, I don't even trust those numbers. It's funny that those are the numbers that came of it, but this was such a bogus, bizarre recount from the Cyber Ninjas group that I'm not saying that's actually accurate, but that's even what they found after trying to find evidence to support Trump's narrative. Completely wild. But what I'm getting a lot of motivation and hope out of is seeing, I have two examples for you there. State, and then federally, Trump's the target of an investigation he's likely going to be indicted out of in regard to his attempts to overthrow our democratic process. So we are seeing justice, hopefully. We're seeing steps toward justice, and that is really good. About what it means about the state of our system and our justice system, and it's still working. Maybe it won't if someone like Trump gets back into power again, but it's working right now. And I think we can derive some hope and excitement out of that. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before all the clips are able to be uploaded to the YouTube channel, plus get the bonus show on the weekends, you can do so by going to lukebeasleyshow.com/membership. That's lukebeasleyshow.com/membership. And there's a link in the description.